Welcome everyone, it's Gracious Guy, Wrath Gracious. As always, we're going to answer one simple question. Should you buy the Lenovo Legion Y740? And just TLDR, just getting down to brass tacks, should you buy it? If you play video games with headphones, or if you watch movies with headphones, or if you work on YouTube or whatever with headphones and you want a mobile workstation replacement, it won't replace the desktop, but if you want something like that and you use headphones, yes, it's worth the value. It's a great laptop, and I recommend it. If you don't play with headphones and you're trying to rely on just the speakers inside the unit, no, don't buy it. That's just simple. If you wear headphones, buy it. If you don't wear headphones, don't buy it. Is it because the speakers and the subwoofer and everything in here is bad? No. Actually, the sound quality at the laptop is pretty good. It's because of the fan. The fan in this laptop in this form factor, like thin form factor, pretty light build, it's too loud. Yeah, it's pretty much the gist of it. It's too loud. Things I like about this laptop are its screen, its portability, its functionality, its upgradability, its performance. It's great. Things I don't like about this, it's too loud. That's basically it. So that if that's all you're here looking for, feel free to thumbs up the video. Have a good day, and see you later. But if you want to stay around for just a little bit more hot takes and kind of how you do an upgrade on this, and maybe some ways to help slow the fan just a little bit, they're in the video. But unfortunately, I'm gonna have to tell you there are 3 fan profiles that come default with the Lenovo software. There's a quiet thermal mode, a balance, and a turbo. The quiet thermal mode, it lowers the clock speed of the processor down, which does help with thermals, but also cuts performance down a little bit. In gaming, you won't really see it all that often if you're playing just older titles or like kind of esports titles. You won't really see it or you won't see a big dip as often if you're in quiet mode. But the problem is when the system eventually does need to cool down, the fan will still ramp up to 100% or close to 100%, and it's still too late. So the quiet profile helps you a little bit, but doesn't help you a lot. The balance profile is what I normally keep it at, just because I want a little bit more performance out of it. The balance profile, if you're idle, it's fine. If you're playing in intense games, it's not. Intense games are really bad. Like if I was playing Minecraft, it was fine. Didn't really hear the fan ramp up at all. Played Minecraft for about 20, 30 minutes. It was okay. But and that was with no shaders. That was with base textures. But if I was playing Dark Souls, if I was playing Dark Souls off the controller on my couch, after about 5 minutes of playing Dark Souls, at 4K, it ramped up and it was pretty loud. I did cut it down to 1080p, and eventually the fan did calm down. But throughout the game, even at 1080p, the fan would turn on and it was audibly noticeable, even 10 feet away from it, sitting on the couch. So this laptop, if you have headphones, it's great. If you got like these Audio Technica M50Xs, these are pretty good. I don't know if they make these anymore, but I know Audio Technica makes a version of these. So these headphones would be great. Or some other type of headphones with like an integrated mic. I know they have other headphones that have mod mic attachments. They have headphones. Lenovo makes their own headphones for the Legion series, and those are actually pretty good. I got a pair of those with this because they were on sale. And actually, if I'm wearing the headphones, this laptop is a good buy. It's a good gaming laptop. I recommend it. But if you're not going to wear headphones or you want to rely on the speakers that are integrated, which speakers are pretty good, it's the fan is just too loud. That's a problem with the form factor. Even with all the cooling, it's got plenty of cooling. It's got plenty of exhaust. There's nothing wrong with it, except for it's just too loud. If it had more finite fan control, if I could set like, let's say if I could go into the profile and set a fan speed curve of never going above 60 or 70% on the fan speed, like I do on my desktop. My desktop fan speeds don't go above like 50%. And it's sitting right next to me. I hear it if nothing is playing. I'll hear my fan on my desk, and most of the time I don't hear them. I actually would hear my overhead ceiling fans way more than I hear my computer fans. But on here, there's no finite fan control as of now, unless you know or someone else you know, or maybe just research. If someone knows of a third-party fan control system that will control these fans, yeah, I'm all open to try them out. But default out of the box, the thermal profiles that it comes with are not good. Oh, I forgot to mention turbo. Turbo is basically just full fan speed control, full processor state. So it's not great. But yeah, the one that I got here, it comes with the 9th gen 9750H 6-core processor, pretty good. But once again, if one of the cores goes above like their trigger state, which I don't know how they determine trigger states, it seems to be around 68 to 70 Celsius is when one core goes above that. The fan starts to ramp up and it kind of just gets to its max speed, or at least it's audibly sounds like it's at 100%. If that audible is 50%, that audible is way too loud. The fan, I shouldn't be able to hear this fan at idle or playing low games. I shouldn't hear this fan at all, but unfortunately I do, which is a problem. But if one of the cores goes above a certain point, the fan turns on and it just kind of kills the mood, kills the performance. If you're not wearing headphones, so unfortunately, I prefer gaming without headphones on. This is just kind of how I do it. I only wear headphones for making videos like this, just because of the mic reverberation. We got to wear some type of headphones. I could actually not have these on my head. I could just have them plugged in and sitting off to the side, but whatever. Might as well keep them on my head. Yeah, and it's got it came stock with 16 gigs of RAM. I'll show you how to upgrade the RAM, and then it came with a 1 terabyte NVMe SSD, just a simple Samsung affair, nothing too fancy. And it comes with a blank open 2.5-inch drive with a caddy, and it comes with a cable to install your own 2.5-inch drive, which is very nice. So upgradability, a lot of cool points for this. It would have been nice if it had a second NVMe drive. It actually would have been okay if that 2.5-inch drive was actually another NVMe drive, but the 2.5-inch drive is actually kind of convenient. Let's see, other things. From Lenovo's website, they have two kind of categories. Oh, also, this is the 17.3-inch version. There's a 15-inch version. But they have two categories, which is customize, build your own, or ready to ship. Now, ready to ship is what I got here. I looked at it and I realized that it was upgradable, because that was kind of what I was looking for, something that I could upgrade, or either upgrade or something I can get full spec'd out from the beginning. And full spec'd out, sometimes when you buy it from a system builder, some of the quality of the parts is questionable, as in like where they came from or how good they are. And you might want to use your own brand of certain parts. The customizability for the Y17, they can go up to 32 gigs of RAM. You can add Windows 10 Pro. This version has the 2080 Max-Q in it. I think they do have a version, I do believe, that goes down to the 2070, maybe 2060. Feel free to take a look. But I got this build to order, or just ready to ship. It was box ready, good to go. I didn't do any customization because the ready to ship one was 3 days from the order or shipping. Some of the configuration options, some of the other sizes and other configurations, some of the cheaper ones, unfortunately, their shipping is a little bit longer. Some of them they don't ship for 3 weeks. Sometimes they don't ship sometimes they say 3 weeks. I got a coworker who is still waiting for their laptop, and they ordered theirs before mine. It's pretty bad, Lenovo. That's kind of bad. You know, if it says ships in 3 weeks and you're waiting 4 or 5 weeks and your product still hasn't shipped, that's a problem. So just be careful about that. But I went with them mostly because they were upgradable for another 2.5-inch drive and RAM. And you can actually swap out the 1 terabyte SSD and put in a different 1 terabyte or a different NVMe SSD in the future if you want to. You just got to make your own boot drive and transfer all that over probably to a USB stick or something, and then reformat the laptop. So it's possible that you can actually take out the original 1 terabyte later on and throw something else in there. So that's good. Gaming performance is pretty solid. At 1080p, plays all the games that I play, no problem. It's got 144 hertz 1080p display, G-Sync, if I didn't mention that already. So screen tearing is not an issue at 1080p at all. I mostly only play games that are a little older. So some of the newer titles, if you're looking for like the Battlefields and whatnot, check some of the other review sites out, what their FPS is going for. But the World of Warcraft, Battle for Azeroth, or Classic, fine. They're going to be fine. They're not going to be above 100 at Ultra, but they're going to be okay. And then for, let's see, what other games I play. Dark Souls, great. 60 FPS, no problem. Minecraft, awesome, no problem there. I think it was like 70-something, 80-something FPS at with the chunk loading. I had chunk loading set to normal. I didn't have it set to so I played in the Java edition. So it actually, miles may vary if you pay on the Bedrock edition. I might have to get the Bedrock edition at some point and test it out. But yeah. So let's see. Gaming's pretty good. I don't have any problem, especially at 1080p. This laptop should last me for 3 or 4 or 5 years. This was to replace my older Asus one. But one thing I really do like about this laptop, aside from upgradability, is how the I/O is laid out. So let's kind of do a little tour. So we got some USB Type-C ports, headphone combo jack. We got ourselves a DC input. Hold on, DC input jack. We got 2 USB-A ports, a Ethernet. We got an HDMI and a display port, and then on this side right here, just another Type A jack. And that is pretty much it. There's a subwoofer and everything under here. But once again, like I said, the fan speed is both annoying and slightly unpredictable as to when or not it's going to turn on. So if you're going to play games on this, you want to have headphones, so you're kind of bypassing the decent audio that's on this laptop anyways. If you're just watching a movie, you won't need headphones if you're watching a movie, even if it's connected to a TV. Mostly like Netflix and movies and stuff that don't use a lot of processing power, they won't turn the fan on. So if you want to just kind of relax, sit back and watch a movie, um, or have it connected to a TV and you're watching a movie or something, the fan won't bother you there. But if you're doing some gaming or stuff, the fan will get on it. It's kind of annoying. So, yeah. All right. Let's see. So we talked about gaming. We talked about specs. Talked about readability, portability. It's actually pretty light. It's not heavy at all. The screen. Let me just open it up real quick to show you guys. Um, Screen's pretty decent. Webcam's up top. I do like that. The keyboard does light up. I'm not going to turn it on though. But the keyboard has a bunch of different RGB functions, and you can change the RGB functions in the software. So that's pretty nice. I don't want to turn it on because I don't. Yeah, I've recorded this video like 17 times. So I'm not going to turn it on. But what I'm going to do, let me set this aside over here real quick. And I have some pictures I took of the inside and me doing the upgrade. So let me do some stuff over here. Let me change this webcam over to there. And we'll go to an internal picture of what it looks like when you first open up the bottom of it. It's got about 9-ish screws that you got to take off. And this is what it looks like inside. Pretty good, pretty beefy sized battery in there. So unfortunately, though, the battery life when you're gaming or whatever is like an hour and 20 minutes, depending on the game. And so for battery, it's pretty much one of those kind of pop it open, do a quick little work, and then find a wall plug. So if on the left right here, we see it's got a 2.5-inch caddy. So the next picture will kind of show how the caddy works out, but this is kind of how it looks like. You got your Wi-Fi card up on the right. You got your operating M.2 drive there. It does have a Lenovo warranty sticker, so I don't know if you break that if you're voiding warranty. There is some things about you do get a 1 year. There is a 1 year warranty that comes with the Lenovo software right out of the bat. So I don't know if you'd want to break that, but hey, you know what? It should work fine. Anyways, this is just kind of what it looks like when you open it up. Let's move on to the next picture. Let's close that one. All right, so then this is kind of so once you take that little center cover off, it just kind of pops off those little tabs around the side of the RAM. That thing just slides out. So that's what the RAM looks like there. And yeah, let's move on to the next part. So this next part is after I've already put in the RAM and the drive. So we'll go over here. So I got the G-Skill DDR4 32 gig kit. It is 2666 hertz memory. That's what the laptop runs at. I didn't want to bother with trying to overclock it or set XMP profiles or anything like that. So I just threw the same RAM speed that was already in there, just got a bigger kit. This was not very expensive for this G-Skill set, but so I got some 32 gigs of RAM, and then I got that 2 terabyte Western Digital Blue SSD in there. So that looks pretty good. Now you do have to kind of pop that part of the speaker up. It's not screwed in; it just kind of slides up, and it's kind of held in there by pressure from the bottom plate. But you do have to lift that up, and I can't remember if that ribbon cable went under the speaker or went over the speaker when I was completely done, because I didn't take a picture when I was completely done. Unfortunately, I think the ribbon cable goes over the top of it, as it like you would just slide the speaker under it. And also that caddy on the left side of the screen, that caddy is actually, so the metal part, the metal frame is actually a dummy frame. The metal frame is actually just for what, it's just kind of to hold the tin caddy in there. So what you do is you take the metal frame out, it's got some screws in there, you wrap the tin around the SSD, and then you screw it in there and done. Unfortunately, I didn't take a picture of that. I only took a picture of just kind of setting it up. And after this, I turned the system on to make sure it was working before I buttoned everything up, and it was working. It showed the 32 gigs of RAM, it showed the extra drive, and we're all good to go. So it's upgradable. Here's some internals. I really appreciated that. And one thing that I would like to bring up, one thing that may help your fan a little bit, and this is something that I found online, a recommendation, something to do with Lenovo's power management software and how Lenovo's internal fan profiles are affected by CPU rates. So let's go over to this little power management one I got here. Boop, boop, boop. All right, we're doing some OBS shenanigans right now. So what we got here is you go to control panel, power options, edit power plan. And then you click change advanced power settings. It pops up this power options menu. Scroll down to processor power management. Click on maximum processor state. Now this is for my desktop. Maximum processor state for my desktop, I always leave it 100%, no problem. But on a laptop, it'll have two options. It'll have on battery and while plugged in. You want to set those to 97 or 98%. It does something, by changing the processor power state, it does something with Lenovo's fan software, so where the fan doesn't ramp on as often, but it still unfortunately does ramp up and it still does get too loud. And until Lenovo puts a finite slider in their fan curve, which maybe they don't have the ability, maybe the fans in the laptop are kind of, they only have a one or two tier options where it's either low or on. It's either, maybe it has just low and high. I don't know how the fans are designed in here. I just know that the fans are just too loud. But I mean, we can go back and look at those fans real quick, and we can look at just kind of how beefy they are. So the fans that, like the fans here, let me go back one more picture so we don't have that speaker sitting on top there. So as you can see, the fans, we got big blower fan right here. We got another blower fan. You don't see my mouse, but on the left and the right, you got big blower fans that do exhaust out and a lot of coppers. So the thermals, the thermals are fine. It's just the format and the form factor, and those blower style fans, whatever they are, but they're just too loud. So that's basically my conclusion. The laptop's great. If you're looking for a workstation laptop and you're comfortable wearing headphones for your whole gaming session, just buy the laptop. It's a good price. Lenovo's got, I think it came with like McAfee or something, but I deleted that antivirus and threw my own antivirus on there. The RGB is kind of cool. So if you're looking for more information about a Y740, feel free to ask a question below, or check out one of the other millions of reviews. This laptop hit the market in like the early last year. So there are a bunch of reviews on this that have more specs for more newer games. Unfortunately, I only play older games, so. But this laptop, I like it, but I have to understand that with this style and this size of laptop, and Asus has their Zephyrus, and they have the same kind of issue. I've heard fan noise problems from the Zephyrus. Same thing from MSI and everything. So in this kind of form factor, putting all this kind of power in this size, you are going to run into issues with thermals and heating and thermal throttling and fan noise. If you guys know a good gaming laptop out there that has almost no fan noise at all when you're at a load, recommend it. I would like to know. It might, if whether it's this form factor or whether it's a larger form factor. But that's my conclusion. Hope you guys have a great day and see you around. Later.